It is time for your weather IQ. You know, there's a good chance that you may live near one of the many lakes or ponds in our area. How does that affect snow? Let's raise our weather IQ.
Well, you've seen the pictures, the videos, the insane snowfall totals. We're talking about lake effect snow, but you may ask yourself, how in the world can a lake make snow? I'll explain. Let's raise your weather IQ. All right, first things first, what is lake effect snow? It's snowfall enhanced by cooler air blowing over a warm lake. All of the cities around the globe that have high annual snowfall totals do so because of their close proximity to a lake or a large body of water. In the U.S., we're talking about the Great Lakes, especially Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. Those produce large snowfall totals every year. One thing to remember here is that water has a high heat capacity. That means it heats up and cools down slowly. Lake effect snow is very common in the fall because the ground is cold, but the lake is still fairly warm, even though the air above our heads is very cold. So here's how it works. You have the warm lake water, and that warm, moist air from the lake rises. Meanwhile, we have cold air blowing across the lake, the longest part of the lake usually. That air condenses and forms clouds. Just on the other side of the lake, those clouds eventually form intense snow bands, and they can last for several hours, even days, and put down crazy amounts of snowfall in one particular area. All right, so let's review. In order for lake effect snow to form, you need winds and cold winds blowing along the longest part of the lake. You really need at least a 23-degree temperature difference between the warm lake water and the air that surrounds it. The larger that difference, the more intense that those snow bands can be. And those snow bands can last for hours or even days, potentially totaling up to a few inches per hour or even a few feet over a couple of days. And lake effect snow is pretty interesting in the fact that it can total a few feet in specific neighborhoods, and just a few miles down the road, though, it can be totally dry. With your weather IQ, I'm meteorologist Christian Morgan.